Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Ranjan, pharmacology faculty at Mero, and I'm elated to welcome all of you to today's interview session with a great guy, Dr. Raveesh, who has secured rank 7 in INICET May 2022. And guys, I was having a chat with him before this interview, and I asked him, what was your take to this exam? What was your expectation for this exam? And he said, I just finished internship on 4th of May, and I was just trying to test the waters. And how he has tested the waters, right? He has not only tested the waters, he has swam across the river to get the rank of choice and possibly the branch of choice. So Ravish, a warm welcome to you to this interview.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
And I'm not in the habit of asking people how are you feeling, because I know how everyone feels when he gets or she gets such a good rank. Rather, what I
Mm.
ask is, when you saw your rank, right? What was it more of, elation, or was it more of surprise? So, which element was more in your case?
I think initially when I saw my rank, it was more of a surprise, sir, because I frankly was not expecting the rank. But it
Mhm.
took some time to sink in, and after that, I think more of elation went by.
That's nice. That's great. And
Yeah.
all right. So, where have you done your undergraduation from? Your undergraduate from which college?
Yes, I did my UG from Bangalore Medical College.
Okay, great. So I'll begin with your preparation strategy, right?
Yeah.
What was during these preparation times? What was your primary source for preparation for the competitive exam?
My primary source was, I think, Maro only, sir, especially in the internship part, because it was very difficult to attend offline classes and um, during my hectic internship, because in our college, the internship is quite hectic. And
Hmm.
I needed a platform where I can go through the various MCQs or see the videos, even when I'm not in a particular place, like in a classroom. So I think Maro helped me a lot during that time.
Great. So Mero gave you an advantage. You're not time bound to attend a class
Yeah.
at a particular time. You could use your time at your own will, and whenever you
Yeah.
had free times. Yeah, I know, because nowadays, whenever you are, even during your internship, you have some free time. You can utilize
Yeah,
solve some questions or test series, right? Right.
yeah,
And anyways, you watch the videos, and I'd like to ask you one question. Who was
yeah,
the faculty who inspired you? Because you see, we read from all the 19 subjects, faculties of 19 subjects, but it
yeah,
happens so
yeah,
that sometimes we tend to get influenced academically or non-academically from faculty. So, which
yeah.
were those few faculties who inspired you a lot from the 19 narrow faculty? And that does not have to be me, because I'm doing the interview. So please get that straight,
Yeah,
right?
sir. Yeah, sir. I actually started watching the few videos when I was in my fourth year, and
Yeah.
I actually started with medicine because during the lockdown time, especially in 2020, I had a lot of time then. So I
Mhm.
thought I would watch some videos because medicine, the number of videos were too much actually to complete. So I thought I would start watching few videos, and I was really inspired by Rakesh sir because I started watching neurology classes from him, and
Mhm.
it really inspired me the way he approached each and every topic and the way he explained things, and from the initial anatomy, physiology, and then taking it to medicine and the treatment aspects. So he was a huge source of inspiration for me, and of course you also, sir, because as we were speaking before, I started watching pharmacology. Initially started with the antiarrhythmics, and the way the way you taught the whole concept, taking it from physiology to pharmacology, was really inspiring. And I think that is how pharmacology should be taught actually. So it was a very fun way of learning it. And then I'd also like to remember Sakshi ma'am and Rohan Kandelwal sir also, because uh, I actually made a lot of notes from the videos from which I watched from both Rohan sir and Sakshi ma'am's videos, and it also helped me for my board exams also because it was so systematic and organized, and it was very easy to remember also. So these were the few faculties I have in the top of my head, but of course I watched all the faculties, at least one or two videos I watched, and I enjoyed all of them.
That's great. That's great. And actually, I would like you to enlighten a little bit as to what was your way of approaching the videos. I mean, how would you watch the videos to begin with? I mean,
Yeah,
would you watch the videos at the normal speed or 1x, 2x? What was your speed of choice?
yeah.
And whenever you watched videos, did you make your notes or were you using the printed notes? And when you used to watch videos, you would you do the Qbank after the videos or before the videos? What was your approach?
Um, from the beginning itself, I started watching all the videos at two times the normal speed only, sir, because I think the normal speed was very slow because I had a lot to cover and
I get
there
you.
were a lot of topics. So I used to start with two times only, and sometimes I think there was also an option of 2.5 times also. So for some faculty, I had to go for 2.5 times also,
That's perfectly
because
fine.
that saves a lot of time. But it all depends on you actually. So if you feel that you can't grasp properly at that speed, then I advise you should go to a lesser speed. But
Hmm.
yeah, I started at two times the speed, and only the topics which I felt I did not understand properly, or topics which were very high yield, which were asked multiple times in the previous exams. For those topics, I used to make notes, and
Hmm.
the rest of the topics I used to see the video, and simultaneously in the same video, just below the video, we'll have the online the notes, right?
Oh,
So I used to read from that also. So I used to do that simultaneously, and most of the times I would solve the modules immediately after watching the video. Sometimes I used to solve it after 1 day or 2 day, because in the initial part in my fourth year and all, I hesitated to solve Qbank modules because I thought I should keep all this in store for my internship. If I solve this now only, I'll forget all these things. So I actually thought like that, but I think that is not a good idea, because there are a lot of modules to complete, and I think it'll be better if we just go take the videos and Qbank side by side and finish them off as quickly as possible.
okay, great. So, guys, what see this differs from people to people, and see as what you need to do is watching videos, and you can watch at any speed you are comfortable with, and as you said, making notes. I mean, if he was a very good student, as I was talking with him during his undergraduate times. He spent a lot of time with all these subjects. So what he was doing is he was filling up his holes in the knowledge, and because no matter how much we study, we don't know everything. So from those videos, those topics which he was weak in, or which were high ill topics, he used to make notes. And solving Qbank, which he said, Ravish, rightly, that the earlier you begin, the better it is with Qbank. There is nothing like that you'll forget it. Like you'll forget, but it does not mean that you'll
Yeah.
not start. You have to start somewhere, isn't it? So, Ravish, tell me one thing. I mean, now using Marrow as your primary source of preparation and getting there
Yeah.
probably where you wanted to be, why would you like to advise your juniors to go for Marrow as their sole source of preparation?
Okay. So first of all, the moment we open the Marrow app, I think the user interface is extremely user friendly. The interface is extremely user friendly, and it is very easy to navigate through all the various resources which are available in Marrow. I think that is a very huge point. Uh, because I started because I had not subscribed actually, but I had downloaded Marrow in my third year, and I just used to go through the free videos and the pearls to just see what this is all about, and I really got impressed by that. And of course, when I subscribed to Plan C, I started watching all the videos, and I really thought maybe if this was there from my first year itself, it would have been a huge help to me, because the content which was taught from the beginning, only from the anatomy lectures and the physiology lectures, it was very well framed and very systematic. So it will definitely help even a person who is preparing for the board exams also. And they also integrate a lot. So there is so much of vertical and horizontal integration. And I think in first year, when Krishna Kumar sir tells some correlations with, or some clinical aspects connecting the concepts with medicine. I think we would have never studied that in first year. Like sir used to talk about many syndromes also, like Carter-Jenner syndrome. I think no one would have heard about Carter-Jenner syndrome in first year. So
Yeah.
this lot of vertical integration and horizontal integration happening, I think that is very, very useful. So
Yeah.
from first year only, it's very, very useful. And even when people come to their internship, they've finished everything, and it's a very nice way to consolidate all the knowledge you have.
Yeah, that's great. In Mero, we always try to integrate things, and so that it is not just a pure preclinical or paraclinical. So it should have some kind
Yeah,
of clinical touch as well.
yeah,
Now, coming back to what we're discussing about this is, tell me a little bit about your whole journey as a
yeah,
student with Mero from the beginning till the end. How smooth was it?
yeah.
Your journey as a student?
Yes. So I downloaded Marrow in my third year because one of my cousins had suggested me. And once I downloaded it, I went through the free videos and the pearls whenever I had time. And I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. And but I did not know whether I should subscribe and start my preparation in third year only. So I was a
Hmm.
bit hesitant about that. And then when I joined fourth year, I had already subscribed for Marrow Plan C, and then COVID happened. So I think from March we were locked down, and
Hmm.
during that time, the initial few days I was actually a bit lost because I did not know what to do because my postings got cancelled and my theory classes got cancelled. So I still wanted to stay in touch with all the subjects, and I still wanted to be on the path. So that's why I think that was one of the most important factors which pushed me to start watching Marrow videos and solve the Qbank modules. So that's how I started. And as days went by, I continued watching and watching. In the same time, I also started making notes also of the few topics which I felt which in which I was not up to the mark. And I what one extra thing what I did was when I was studying for my board exams, I used to include the extra points which were told in Marrow in my textbook itself. Like I used to study Datta for OBG, and whenever Sakshi ma'am told few extra points, I used to write down those points or put a sticky note into Datta only. So whenever I revised the textbook again, I used to read all these extra points also. So I think that is one thing which you can try, that is adding extra points to the textbooks which you read, because for me photographic memory was a big thing. So whenever I used to read a textbook, I used to remember this is there in the this side of the page, this side of the page. So if you add the extra points also, then that photographic memory I think will help you. So that
Great,
is
great.
one thing. And one more thing I would like to add was the options of bookmark, the three different types of bookmarks which is present in Marrow. So I think that was also a very nice thing for me to have, because I used to segregate the types of questions. So general questions, I used to put it in the normal bookmark, and the star bookmark was for fact based questions, which I have to revise again and again. And the question mark
Hmm.
was for concept based questions, new concept which I did not know. So I think that segregation also was very nice for me.
Great, great. Now, see, one important resource for preparation is videos, obviously,
Yeah,
and notes. But as important is another resource, that is QBank, isn't it? And
yeah,
I'd
yeah,
like to ask,
definitely.
how many modules could you or would you solve every day? What is your target every day in the QBank
Every day it was a bit difficult for me because
on
my
an
internship
average?
duties varied. So on an
Yeah.
average, I think when I was free, when I had free time, then I would solve 8 or 9 modules in a day. When I
Hmm.
was when I had a lot of work, I used to skip it and just watch the videos and read some pearls, or just 1 or 2 modules maybe.
Okay.
But
And
I think yes.
yeah, please continue.
I think continuously solving modules without reading the explanations properly is not a very good idea. You can solve many modules in a day, but
Hmm.
you should take some time to read the explanations thoroughly. And even the explanations have so many extra points actually, even extra
There.
points which are not there in the videos also. So I think it's
Yeah.
a good idea to stick to a small number of QBank modules every day and read through all the explanations thoroughly.
All right. Tell me, what are the three important best practices would you advise to your juniors while solving QBank? What are the three important points they should keep in mind? They should or should not do. The three important points.
Okay, so the first point I think is always solve Q banks when you are in a good state of mind. Because for me, I used to solve Q banks when I was in my doing my duty, or when I had some other work. So simultaneously, I used to I tried to do two things or three things at a time. So I used to miss out on many questions like that, and I think that is not very helpful also. So
Right.
solve Qbank when you are when you have free time and when you're in a good state of mind. I think that is one advice. The second advice is uh, frequently visit your bookmarks, because I think that is also one thing which I did not do. I used to just go on solving the modules and bookmark a lot of questions, but I did not visit back many of those questions. So visit back the bookmark questions very frequently, and try to decrease the number of bookmarks also, because in the end you don't want to be stuck with a lot of questions also. I think that's it.
Okay,
And
great.
also the segregation of the types of bookmarks I told. That's also one thing which is very helpful.
Great, great. So he has given a great point regarding the bookmarks, how you're supposed to use it, and so that you can improve your productivity at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And Ravish, what about custom module? How aggressive were you using custom modules for your revision, or did you at all use them?
Yes, I used to use a few custom modules, but at the end of my preparation, I did not use many custom modules.
Okay.
Initially, I used to solve custom modules of only previous year questions. So that is the only thing I actually used in custom module. Only previous year questions, INICET and NEET. And I used to set the
Hmm.
difficulty from medium to hard only. Usually did not set it at the easy level, but I think custom
Hmm.
modules are very helpful when you are in an early stage of your preparation and you don't know exactly where to start. I think if you start solving few custom modules, you'll get a brief idea of many subjects together, and you also get a brief idea of what are the frequently repeated topics and which topics are asked very frequently. Because once you start, if a person starts the preparation like from anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, then by the end maybe they could not have finished all the subjects. So I think even if you're preparing anatomy, so it would be nice if you solve Qbank modules from all the subjects daily, even if you don't know, and for that you can use the custom modules actually.
Okay. And one more thing I'd like to ask about the Qbank. I mean,
Yeah.
when you used to solve the questions, what was your efficiency in getting the questions right? Would you get 60, 70, 80 on an average? I'm asking, just a rough figure.
On yeah, on an average, I used to get around 80 to 90% correct, sir. But I think that is mainly because I used to solve them immediately after I watched the videos. So even
Okay,
that
you watch
that
the
thing is there.
video and then solve the questions, so your
Yeah,
strike rate was high, right?
yeah, yeah.
All right.
So that varies.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, so there we have videos, we have notes, we have QBank. Then we have a tool
Yeah,
test ourselves.
yeah,
Fortnightly or monthly. That is called as grand test.
yeah.
So, how often would you give a grand test? Twice monthly, once a month. How often?
Yes, sir. Yeah, during the initial 1 month of my internship, I gave one grand test to know where I actually stood in the initial part, because before starting preparing for the PGA exams properly, and
Hmm.
I think I got around 120 or 130 corrects in that. And
Okay.
after that I did not give any GTs only. I was preparing by just the videos and the Qbanks, and then I gave a GT at around I think December or January.
Uh,
Then I got around 140 corrects. So
okay.
I had actually improved due to the preparation I did during all those months. And after that, I actually wanted to give one GT every week, because I think GTs really helped me in my preparation, because the explanations of all the questions which were in the grand test were really wonderful. And sometimes when I used to give more GTs, I used to find many repeats from the previous GTs only. And many questions were based on the explanations of the previous GT's questions also. So I think
Hmm.
that is the main thing we have to focus on when we're competing for any exam. We should not get the repeat questions wrong.
Yeah.
Let it be
Exactly.
previous INICET repeats or NEET repeats. So those things should be perfect. Even the repeats, the exact questions, and also the concepts also. So after
Yeah.
that, I tried to give one GT every week, but sometimes I could not. So I think 2 weekly or so I used to give GTs, and slowly my score increased to around 150 to 160 corrects.
Okay. And while you used to give a GT, would you go through explanation of all the questions?
Yeah, sir, that is extremely important. I used to go through the explanations on the day I solved the GT itself, because I did not want to postpone that a lot. So I
And
used to go through first. I used to go through all the wrong questions which I answered. So I used to finish
yeah.
that off first. Then I used to answer all this, look at all the skipped questions. I used to skip around 5 to 10 questions every GT, and then I used to come back to the correct questions.
Yeah, so here, this is what he is telling is very important because a lot of students they have this doubt, and if you're listening to me, you have to understand how to prioritize. See, someone says that I need 2 days or 3 days to review a GT. I mean, you cannot do that. You don't have that much of time to review your grand test.
Yeah.
You have to take a definite amount of time, and as he has said, within that definite amount of time, you have to set priority. Your private priorities ones are those which you have done wrong, then which you have skipped, and then comes the ones you have done correct. So within a stipulated time which you can afford, based upon ranking, you can divide how much attention or time it has to be given in a particular grand test. All right, and see how do you describe your GT analytics with time?
GT analytics, as I already told, sir, I gradually improved. I did not improve within a span of like few months. So
Hmm.
there was a gradual improvement. Initially, I used to score 120, and later it gradually increased to around 160 corrects.
Okay, and tell me one thing. Was there any time when you are depressed because of your GT scores? Did you think that do I need to do something differently because of GT score? Was there any moment like that?
Yes, yes, sir. Because after every GT, I used to feel there were a lot of questions which I could have gotten it correct if I had revised the topic the previous day, or maybe if I had studied more. So that will definitely be there. But I think the best thing to do is just go to the bottommost part, your weakest subject, and try to focus on the questions which you did wrong there. For
Mm.
me, always in the last there used to be forensic medicine and sometimes anesthesia. So I did not study these subjects properly. So I used to go back to those questions and I used to revise those topics. So that is how you gradually improve. So you do have a strong subject, especially like
Mm.
final year subjects. You do have some strong subjects, and you should put less attention to them as you progress, and try to bring up these weaker subjects you have towards the your stronger side.
Yeah, what he's saying basically is you used to use even GT as a learning tool, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
not only as a judging tool as to how much you are
Yeah,
scoring. That is
yeah.
one aspect, but that is not the most important aspect. Use it as a learning tool, the subjects which are weaker in, and you can revise even those questions from GT. So I'd like to ask you,
Yeah.
did you use the GT questions for revision? I mean, while revising the GT questions.
Yes, sir, definitely, because GTs were framed in such a way that most of the questions which were asked were previous INICET repeats or NEET repeats. So I think at least the concepts were getting repeated. So I think GT is a very important tool, and I actually started very late. I feel I should have started GTs early only, because I had watched Abbas sir's video where he told that the ideal time to start GTs is yesterday. So I had watched that video, and I think you have to start GTs even before you start solving GTs, before you start your preparation, because
Yeah.
you'll get to know where you stand, and even if you feel you're not prepared, you still have some background knowledge of all the subjects you have studied till now. So I think it's a good idea to start giving GTs and use GTs more as a learning tool, and go through the explanations very thoroughly, because that is what makes a GT a very vital tool for your preparation, the explanation part.
That's true. That's true. All right, Ravish, we are all humans, and we are not robots, and we are not built like we have to only perform and not
Yeah,
burn out. So that we
yeah,
don't burn out, we need to do some things which humans do, right? So did
yeah.
you have any kind of hobbies like exercising or cycling or dancing or whatever to take out the stress for even half an hour during these times of during the tough days? Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, sir. I used to exercise for some time. Then I
Okay.
also used to listen to a lot of music, and
Hmm.
I also used to watch a lot of series, and I also used to play table tennis. So I have few set of things which I do even when I'm not studying, to decrease the pressure and clear your
Hmm.
mind, and also
Yeah.
spending time with your friends also. So it's a very important thing, I think, because you need to have a good state of mind to start preparing. And I think just studying will not give you that. Just studying from morning till night continuously will wear you down. And I think
Yeah.
intermittent breaks are definitely required.
Yeah. So just input is not important. Output is also important,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
All right. So you see, Mero is such a vast app and a lot of
yeah.
features. Would you like to tell me any particular feature which you are a fan of? Any particular feature in Mero app which you like the most?
Which I like the most, I think it is the mini tests which used to come, sir. The 20 questions test,
Yeah.
because I used to eagerly wait for all the mini tests, because that was very doable for me even during my duty times. Because a grand test is was too huge for me. I used to I wanted to spare a day for that. But the mini tests were so crisp and concise, and I think 20 questions were there, and one question would come from all the subject. So I think
Mhm.
that was a very important thing for me, and I used to eagerly wait, because they used to put it in the mini test description. It will start on this day, results will be out on this day. So I used to eagerly wait for that. So I solved all the mini tests from the beginning till the end. That was a very nice experience for me. I learned a lot from that also.
No, it's kind of a test snack, isn't it? So
Yes.
we need to have main course. We need to have some snacks as well in between.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what is the advice at last you'd like to give to your juniors who will obviously will look up to you as an inspiration? So overall, what would you like your juniors? What would you like to advise to juniors who are supposed to appear for the NEET PG and INICET in the coming future?
My advice will be, there is no exact point of time from which you can say that you are from now I'm starting preparation for my PG entrance exam, because the preparation indirectly or involuntarily starts from your first year itself. So it depends on how you study each subject, how you go through all the standard textbooks, and I think that is very important. So try to be as sincere as possible from the first year itself. If you have not been sincere, it's okay. You can start being sincere with your studies from today itself. So go through the textbooks with a lot of enthusiasm, and try to inculcate all the concepts, at least if not the facts. And side by side, go on solving the Qbank, even if you're not studied a topic. Even if you know that you will get a lot of wrongs, so it's better to start solving Qbanks and also give GTs, because this is what the take home message is. GTs and Qbanks are learning tools, more of testing tools. So even if you get a low score, you actually learned a lot, so it will be very helpful for you.
So, guys, at the end, I'll just sum it up. Right, our friend, he was a good student during the undergraduate period. He was a sincere student. He used to study textbooks, and somewhere during the third year, he was introduced to Marrow, and he started using Marrow other videos to learn about the frequently repeated topics or some gaps which he had in his concepts to seal them off. Then he was pretty bullish on the Qbank and test series. And just like any other student, he also used to have self doubt when he was not able to perform well in the grand test. But he did not used to take it too hard. Rather, he used it as a learning tool. Go back and which subjects have I not performed well, and rework those subjects again. So grand test is for that only. You have to evaluate yourself, improve yourself, and commit yourself not to do the same mistake again in the upcoming grand test. And
Yeah.
just he finished his internship on 4th of May, and even May is not over, and he has already got the good result in his hand. So it's not it's not a miracle, you can say. It's a result of sincere hard work which he had been doing for years, reaching here. And Mero was just a source to channelize all his energy, to channelize all his knowledge, to reframe those in the form of Qbank videos, test series, and bingo, he was on the bullseye. And many congratulations to you again from all the Marrow faculties and all the team Marrow, and all of us. We wish that you get whatever you desire in your life, and be a good doctor, a good human being at the end of the day. Lots
Thank
of
you so
blessings.
much, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care.